Hey, what's up guys? Brian here, Brian's Lawn Maintenance. Trust you guys are doing well. All right, hey, wanted to talk about a topic here for just a quick minute. I just got done dropping the trailer off and feeling good, feeling charged up. Brandon and I just got done cutting a bunch of lawns. And here's what I want to do. A lot of you guys know my little tagline, my little intro here that I've been telling you guys is I'm all about helping you guys grow a more successful lawn care landscaping business. And that way it empowers you guys to go out there and crush it and succeed. And one thing that I want to talk to you guys about is feeling a little guilty or ashamed or embarrassed, or I'm trying to think the right word for it, with your profession of choice being a lawn care landscaper. So here's the whole context of this video, and I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling charged up, business is good, life is good. And one thing I wanted to talk to you guys about was the fact that a couple of you have emailed me recently with the same sentiment, question, or topic, and it's basically about feeling almost ashamed or guilty that you didn't make the right life choice being a lawn care landscaper. Now, I know a lot of you guys can probably relate on this topic somewhere along the way. It almost seems like being a blue collar guy, or just somebody that works with your hands and somebody who can at least feel that pride and that sense of accomplishment with what you do. That's what I feel like we get as a lawn care landscaper, a brick paver guy, power washing, pressure washing, a roofer, concrete guy, right? Something about just being blue collar. Like, I don't know if you guys can relate, but I like guys like Mike Rowe. Somebody once asked me, they said, what's your goal with this whole YouTube thing? And I said, quite honestly, I'm just hanging out, having fun, making videos with you guys, trying to document my life, and just basically help you guys out with your business, and just literally ask you guys all the time what's some videos that you guys want to see. Just try to help you guys through some of the hurdles and the pitfalls that I've been going through over the last decade, and help you guys progress and move forward. And so I like Mike Rowe a lot because he did the show like Dirty Jobs, and back when I did watch TV a decade ago, like he was kind of like the big deal kind of guy. And I always appreciated guys like him because he always kind of made like the dirty jobs, the blue collar stuff cool. And I want to tell you guys that for those a couple of you that keep emailing me questions like, hey, my parents don't want me to run a lawn care landscaping business. My college professor, my college guidance counselor, doesn't want me to be a brick paver guy. All these kind of stories, I keep hearing them a lot more and more. And I just want to give you guys some encouragement, but at the same point, I know exactly how you feel because I can totally relate. In fact, I was kind of reminiscing, just jotting some notes down for this video. And it was funny because about 3 or 4 years ago, I kind of felt the exact same way. I was a little ashamed, a little embarrassed, like I'm 6 years into this, I'm only making 40, 50 grand a year with my lawn care landscaping business, and I didn't really feel like I was doing too much with my life. I was kind of at a mental plateau. I didn't know things, and that's kind of where I transitioned to Googling stuff, YouTubing things, and I found this whole community, guys like all of you that have great videos out there, and even if you don't have videos or a YouTube channel or Instagram, just so many of you guys that are willing to give back and pour into people and teach people how to run a lawn care landscaping business, just best practices, knowledge, tips, advice, all this kind of stuff. And yes, I guess we kind of observe that community. I'm being brought up in that community, trying to perpetuate that community and help you guys out with all my failures and all my stories. Somebody said, are you ever going to run out of video ideas? I said, hell no, because I've had 10 years of failing, not 10 years of succeeding. I've only really the last year or two been succeeding with my lawn care landscaping business. And that's where I want to talk about, because I feel like right now, the last year or two, my income has went boom, boom, boom. And it's really fun and exciting because I see a lot of you guys in the exact same position. Yes, the economy has a lot to do with it. It's not going to be always this great forever, but it is really good right now. And a lot of you guys, your incomes went from $30, $40, $50,000 a year to 70, 80, 100. Some of you guys that were doing 100 are now doing 200. And I was at Keith Kelfa's marketing ROI event about 3 or 4 weeks ago now, and I met 19, 20, 21, 22-year-old kids making $200,000 a year in gross sales. And I was like, that's pretty impressive. And here's what I would tell you guys. Don't be ashamed, don't be embarrassed about your profession, working with your hands, that feeling of self-pride, of self-accomplishment, whatever you want to say, the grit, the building your own business from scratch. Most people will never stick around long enough to appreciate those kind of life lessons and the hard-earned a sense of accomplishment and pride that we all get to do. One thing that really kind of strikes me is that for what my biggest issue was caring what people think. And you know, it kind of even translates into YouTube. Sometimes I hear people talk about, you know, what we're doing on our channel, and quite honestly, I don't even care anymore, but it did affect me early on with how I ran my business, my YouTube channel and stuff like that. Now, frankly, I don't give a crap, and I encourage you guys to feel the same way. But it was interesting because being in these nicer subdivisions, as most of you guys are, it's always tough for me when I come and cut grass at 4, 5, 6, 7 p.m. And a lot of these corporate guys or people more well off, at least on the outside, they seem like they're doing. And I always felt like I was looked down on. Now, again, this is a big head game. In fact, I talked about this at the Marketing ROI event with Keith Kalfas. It was the 18-40-65 rule. If you guys can remember any one thing from this video, it was the, if you haven't heard this one, it was at 18 years old, you care what everybody thinks about you, right? At 40 years old, you stop caring what everybody thinks about you. And at 65, you realize nobody was thinking about you anyway. And that was really freeing for me personally over the last 24 to 36 months. And I'd say even more honestly of the last 6 to 12 months. Because I always felt like people were judging me, looking down on me about the lawn care landscaping business I was building. This whole rig behind us, I had this mental image in my mind about 2 years ago to have this. And you know, a lot of you guys are like, well, that was finance and that's finance. Well, this is paid off in about a week. The mowers are paid off in about a week. The truck will be paid off by next spring. So not too bad paying $60-some thousand of debt off in about 12 to 18 months. Not here to impress you or anything like that. I'm not saying go finance a bunch of stuff. I'm all about being debt free, but I had to upgrade a lot of things all at once. And you know what? Business is good. So that's why I work my guts out to accomplish stuff like this. That's why a lot of you guys work your guts out to accomplish stuff like this. But I want to give you guys some encouragement that if your parents are looking down on you, you know, all these people in society look down on you, you go home to these subdivisions and everybody's getting home at 6 o'clock with their, you know, financed or leased Cadillac vehicle, and they're out there grilling hot dogs. I mean, that stuff just mentally messed with me so much, where I just felt like the lines would never cross. I felt like I would always be the guy cutting grass for $20 an hour, that green grass stained money, right? And it would never really add up. Well, the lines are crossing now. The business is pretty much gonna be debt free. We'll have a 6-figure income, which for me personally, guys, I grew up in a trailer. There's so many, I love guys like Keith Kalfas because he's just real, he's just raw. That's what I'm trying to say. I grew up literally poor, podunk, and we weren't destitute, okay? But we didn't grow up with a dime, nothing, no extra. I've never been one time given anything in my life. And I joked about this on a video about a year ago when I was doing some stuff that it's funny now because we've grown a successful YouTube channel. The sponsorships are coming in, and guys, that's all serendipity. That's just a bonus. And it's fun, it's cool. I'm not gonna turn it down because, hey, making money and saving money, I can do both at the same time. But it was funny, I said, like, where were these guys 2, 3, 4 years ago when I was literally struggling to make ends meet? Like, you know, equipment for a $300 trimmer was like, do we finance it? Do we not, you know, eat good food for a month because we had to pay that stuff off? So if you guys are going through that stuff, I can totally relate. And I guess that's my question to you guys. Like, have you ever struggled with the mentality of people looking down on you in society and kind of feel like you're wasting time, you're wasting your life? Now, I will say this, a lot of you guys, if you learn the business, if you learn your numbers and you learn how to start doing this stuff right, you should be making $50, $80, $100,000 in an economy like this in just 2, 3, 4 years. Now, again, a lot of it comes from preparation. You gotta have a lot of good head knowledge, a good self-image, best business practices. You gotta know what you're actually doing. So I can't like guarantee success and results for all of whatever you guys are doing. But I feel in an economy like this, it's more tangible and more, I wouldn't say easily accomplishable, but more simplified to run and grow and succeed with a business like ours in the green industry, the landscaping, the power washing, the brick pavers, all those guys. Again, I just had a kind of candid conversation with you guys that, you know, now the lines are crossing. Now, our gross income is getting pretty good. Our net income is getting pretty good. The wife hasn't worked a job for 2.5 years. This is our main source of income. We've got other sources of income as well. YouTube is starting to pay really nice, really handsome, and I'm very blessed and very thankful for that. But now, I go cut the lawns of all these subdivision homes with people there, and their combined income is $60,000, $70,000 a year. You know, we talk to these teachers, you know, a lot of the wives are teachers or something like that, and they're making $45,000 a year, and there was a 6 to 8 week window and stretch this spring where we made that. Not bad for a guy who grew up in a double wide trailer and literally couldn't even like spell success, let alone achieve it, right? So anyway, I guess the point of this video is I'd love to hear you guys' feedback and comment. Leave me a comment down below. is, have you guys ever mentally struggled with being a blue collar guy, or a lawn dog, right? Or a landscaper? Or has society ever put pressure on you, whether it's family, friends, relatives, or like, you need to go to college and you need to go get a degree? I think the whole college thing, and again, I could get into some deep stuff with Dave Ramsey and Robert Kiyosaki and college and this and that, and I mean, I could open up a whole can of worms, and I just might over winter. But the lines are crossing now, and I'm so thankful that I did not go to college. I think that scheme, that idea that being a college graduate and having, you know, $80,000 to $100,000 in student loan debt, I think society is finally revealing the fact that that's not the same investment it was in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s for our parents and our parents' parents. If you guys are struggling with the self-image stuff, or the ability to feel like you're succeeding, or deal with this kind of mental hang-up or baggage about being a blue-collar guy or landscaper, I'd love to hear your guys' story, your guys' struggle, peer pressure, family pressure, all that kind of stuff. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know your story. Do you guys ever feel like you sometimes get that feeling and that pressure that you're just some, I don't want to say like loser, but that's how I felt for about 2, 3, 4 years. And the last 2 years, the lines have definitely crossed. The last 6 months, for sure. And again, very thankful, very humble, very blessed that the lines are now crossing big time. And I always knew it would. So I guess that's the light at the end of the tunnel. For all of you guys just getting started in that journey, stay tough, hang tight, and you can do it too. For all of you guys in the process, in that pursuit, keep the hammer down. I'm still in the process. I'm definitely not a finished subject by any means. Man, I feel like the last 12 to 18 months learning things with all of you guys, and it's a two-way street. You guys have made me a better person, more sharp, more on top of things than I've ever been in anything in my life. That's why I'm quick and I can do videos, and there's so much data going back and forth, and quite honestly, I'm just in a very humbled and thankful position to work with you guys and to you know, do videos like this on our YouTube channel. So if I can just end the video with it saying any one thing, I love you guys, I appreciate you guys, and you know what, if you're struggling to make it work, just keep pressing on. If you're making it work, keep pressing on, and if you're succeeding, keep paying dues, because you never own success, you can only rent it. And as Darren Hardy says, that rent is due every single day. All right, guys, love you, appreciate you. Check out these awesome videos. If you guys are new, don't forget to subscribe. Guys, we'll catch you on the next one.